My name is Jason Smith, and I'm a member of the Navajo Nation. And I've been here at Warrior Spirit Recovery for about 3.5 years. Before that, I worked at other agencies in northern Utah, but I've been a mental health therapist going on 7 years now. And so here I provide mental health therapy with, I got a client caseload about 10. I do individual therapy, group therapy, utilization reviews, and I also do biosocial assessments. And a lot of my therapy sessions include just a lot of trauma-informed therapy care, pretty much a usual array of psychodynamic theory like motivational interviewing, cognitive behavioral therapy, and dialectical behavioral therapy. With my clients, a lot of them have addiction issues, and we try to process that and try to find solutions to their issues. And I work with a case manager that also works with overall housing needs, employment needs, and whatnot.
I noticed the Jayhawk stuff back there. Tell us a little bit about your Kansas gear on the back there.
Oh, that. Okay, so right now I'm in the Doctor of Social Work program at the University of Kansas. I just finished my first semester. I'm going on my second semester, so I'll be studying to be a Doctor of Social Work, but also administration and leadership, emphasis. And so I plan on getting some leadership experience a couple more years after I finish. I graduate next year. It's a pretty good program. It's a lot different from what I'm used to. I really want to work at administrative level, somewhere with the Bureau of Indian Affairs or Indian Health Service on the macro level. Kind of I want to oversee a lot of these programs within the Indian reservations and urban settings. I graduated from the University of Utah in 2007, and the next year, in 2008, I moved down to Page, Arizona, and I was looking for a job. The Navajo Nation had a clinic, a small residential program with 10 clients, 5 women and 5 men. And so one day I went over there and applied, and I got the job, and I was a case manager. And so I noticed that the job wasn't really like other jobs. I did a lot of case management. I dispensed medications. I drove my clients around a lot of AA meetings and whatnot. And I got to really enjoy working with the addiction population. And then so I thought about becoming a drug and alcohol counselor after that, because I worked with counselors and I worked with licensed clinical social workers during that time. So I kind of just it grew on me. Right, it just grew on me after a while. I worked there for, 5 months. And after that, I came back and moved back to Utah. And then the next year, I applied to become a substance abuse disorder counselor at the University of Utah. And that was a year program. And I liked it a lot. And I got introduced to a lot of the social work faculty at the College of Social Work. After that 2 years, I went and got my master's degree in social work. And here I am. I think the most rewarding part is I just see that the change in the client's behaviors and their mindset. And what I like to do with my clients is that, I get down to the core issues and the core beliefs and their cognitive distortions and their emotions that leads to their addictive behavior and criminal behavior. And I actually just see that change after session after session after session. And not only me, but also they get treatment from line staff. They also get kind of all this wraparound services. And after a while, they start changing their mentality. And you can see that when they talk, the vocabulary starts to change, their mindset starts to change, and this place grows on them. Right, so it grows on them, and then you see the change, and next thing you know, they're graduating. They have the graduation services we have, and it's pretty cool. The service is about 2 hours long, and just seeing that change and having to go out there into the world. I had one client in particular. I had this client. He was my client for a while. He had numerous relapses, been through a lot of treatment centers and whatnot over the last 3 or 4 years, and then one time he told me, he goes, "I get it now. I get what recovery is about. I get what change is all about, and changing my mentality." And so I saw that, and then sometimes you kind of wonder if they really are changing, but after a while, then they graduate and they go on and they come back and they got a job. They're very successful, and they're living the sober life. And our program is a 12-step program, and I think 12 steps says to spread the word of AA sobriety and well-briety and whatnot to other people. And I like that. I like that when they spread the word, because if anybody else can do it, then if he can do it, then anybody else can do it if they're looking for recovery. I would say be empathetic and just be understanding where our clients come from. The addiction population is really it's a rewarding population. It's also it's a difficult population to work with. But if you're empathetic and you got your tools and what you learned in school or what you learned from your other jobs, you can make it here. I mean, we work with Native Americans primarily, and you got these little nuances, these cultural differences, but the addiction and the thinking areas are pretty much the same. But if you can be empathetic and learn, because we got a lot of training programs here that we send our staff to, and then I think they're going to be successful. And have an open mind when you work with the criminogenic population, because they need help. I think recovery is not black and white. There's that big gray area. They're gonna have their issues. They're gonna have these problems, but if you work through with them long enough, you'll see the change eventually.